Subregion. So to start off this unit, let's go to Open, 0604, open up that. Okay, so let's save as 0605, begin, save as 0605, complete. So our site is getting more and more complete, and pretty soon we'll be done it. But for now, we're going to add in another thing here. And in the process, we're going to learn how to use a subregion. So we're going to make a path and subregion. Okay, so make a path, say using subregion. Okay, let's go to phase 1 existing. Just get our bearings here. So this is our existing site. We're actually going to put a path in the new one, in the new proposed site. So let's go to 3D phase 1 and let's take a look at this. First of all, the phase filter of this view is saying show all. We're going to change that to say show complete. But first what we're going to do is rename this one. So I just right-clicked and renamed on 3D phase 1, and I'm going to call this one show all. Okay, then I'm going to duplicate, and I just did a duplicate, not with detailing. Not that it matters really on this view, but I'll just do the duplicate. Now on this one here, I'm going to rename it, call it 3D, still phase 1, but we're going to say show complete. Now, just because we put that in the name doesn't mean the properties reflect that. So let's go to the properties and then choose show complete. And then this will be phase 1 completed. Now I'm just noticing it looks like there's some things here in the site that are overlapping. So maybe our phasing needs to be adjusted. First of all, let's click on this AutoCAD topo. We don't really need that. Let's just right click, hide in view element. The next thing here, we're noticing that why are we seeing the site here when it's really supposed to be dug out? And it's probably because somewhere along the line, the existing topography needed to be set to be demolished. Perhaps we set it earlier to not to be demolished. Let's just check it. So let's click on that. That looks like the existing. Yeah, so that was phase created existing, but it's not demolished. So that looks like it's the problem. Let's just fix that. We're going to put that at, it's going to be demolished during phase 1, apply. Good, and now it disappears, and now both our excavations are out. Let's just go back to show all. Okay, so now it's looking a little bit better. We're seeing the blue is the existing, the green is the future, and then when we go to the completed phase 1, let's get to that path. So first of all, we're going to go to the view cube and just do it right here. Of course, when you're working in 3D like this, you know, there is a little bit of a risk as far as accuracy. It's harder to get as many dimensions, but for now, we're just roughing in a path. Okay, so we're going to click on this surface. We're going to click on massing in site and then subregion. And now we can draw a subregion in that surface. You can also click subregion first and then pick the surface, either way. Maybe we'll draw something like this starting there. I'll draw one piece of the line, and then maybe I want to draw an arc. So I'll just click my second point out there, and then automatically it's going to find the tangent of that. I like that. That's good. So it's just a path kind of crossing over the back of the property. And we'll just hit escape. Don't forget about this pick lines tool. When you click on that, I'm going to offset this by 3 feet. Really useful when you're doing, you know, extensive line work, especially if you have splines, complicated curves. To try to duplicate that again can be tough. Now that I said that, let's try it with a spline just briefly. We're going to hit escape. You're going to use pick, offset by 3 feet. Okay. Yes. When you click on the spline, it will copy it. You just have to watch very carefully which side it goes onto. It'll give you a little dashed line as to how that works. Okay, you know what? Now that we've done the spline, I like it better. So let's put that as the path. We just did a little spline. Then we use this draw, pick lines, and then we offset it all at the same time. We have to close these off. So we're going to draw from snap endpoint. So I'm going to type in SE, and let's just see if it will find it using nearest. Okay, let's do this again. We're going to draw one there, SE. We'll draw this across. Now I'm going to go to fillet, and we're just going to go there and there. Why didn't that work? Let me try this side. Fillet. Nope, splines don't fillet. That's why. Okay, so we can just pull that back using grips, SE for snap endpoint. And I'm going to just drag this up there, SP for perpendicular. Now, because it's a spline, you got to watch that one. So we're just going to drag it up and drag this one back. Okay, good. So there's our path. Let's finish. Okay, and then let's just spin that cube around, and there's our little path. You got to be careful with subregions. They're good for basic rough things. Don't do an entire parking lot or extensive road work or anything using this. You're always better to actually split the surface and make new surfaces for those objects, especially when you're doing things like calculations, volume calculations, and area calculations. It just tends to be better if you split the surfaces. Okay, so let's just do one final thing. We're going to click on that subregion, and we're going to change its material. So let's click on material. Okay, good. And let's just go down here under site, and let's change that to sand walkway. Now it's just giving me a gray look here. What if we just click on use render appearance for shading? Okay, that's a little bit more sandy. Let's just go into that one more time just before we're done. I'm going to click on that path again and click on edit material. What if we try to put a surface pattern on? What would happen? We're going to get an error message or a warning, and it says that we can't put the hatches onto topographical surfaces. So that's just a little heads up for you. Okay, but there's our sand path, and we used subregion to achieve that. So let's go to View, close hidden windows, save our work, and we'll just shut that down. Okay, now we're back on recent files.